A web server is a computer software and underlying hardware that accepts requests via HTTP or its secure variant HTTPS. It also uses TCP port 80. File server. In computing, a file server is a computer attached to a network that provides a location for shared disk access. Example, storage of computer files that can be accessed by the workstations that are able to reach the computer that shares the access through a computer network. In computer networking, a print server or printer server is a type of server that connects printers to client computers over a network. A DHCP server is a network server that automatically provides and assigns IP addresses, default gateways, and other network parameters to client devices. It relies on the standard protocol known as Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, or DHCP, to respond to broadcast queries by clients. DNS translates to domain names to IP addresses so browsers can load internet resources. Each device connects to the internet and has a unique IP address which other machines use to find the device. DNS servers eliminate the need for humans to memorize IP addresses such as 192.168. In computer networking, a proxy server is a server application that acts as an intermediate between a client requesting a resource and the server providing that resources. Within the Internet email system, a message transfer agent or mails transfer agent or mail relay is software that transfers electronic mail messages from one computer to another using SMTP. The term mail server or mail exchanger and MX host are also used in some contexts. An authentication server provides a network server that applications use to authenticate the credentials, usually account names and passwords, of their users. When a client submits a valid set of credentials, it receives a cryptographic ticket that it can subsequently use to access various services. In computing, syslog is a standard for message logging. It allows separation of softwares that generates messages, the system that stores them, and the software that reports and analyzes them. UTMs are 5 variants of URL parameters used by marketers to track the effectiveness of online marketing campaign across traffic resources and publishing media. IDS is a device or software applications that monitors a network or system for malicious activities or policy violations. An IDS is typically reported either to an administrator or collected centrally using a security information and event management system. IPS is a screen technology for liquid crystal displays. In IPS, a layer of liquid crystals is sandwiched between two glass surfaces. The liquid crystal molecules are aligned parallel to those servers in directions. Endpoint management is a practice of authenticating and supervising the access rights of endpoint devices to a network and applying security policies that prevent any external or internal threats posed by that access. So what is IP addressing static? When a device is assigned a static IP address, the address does not change. Most devices use dynamic IP addresses which are assigned by the network when they connect and change over time. A dynamic IP address is a temporary address for devices connected to a network that continuously change over time. An Internet Protocol IP address is a number used by computers to identify host and network interface, as well as different locations on a network. Automatic Private IP Addressing (APIPA) is a feature of Windows-based OSES. included since Windows 98 and Windows ME, that enables a dynamic host configuration protocol client to automatically assign an IP address to itself when there's no DHCP server available to perform that function. Link local addresses are designed to be used for addressing on a single link for purposes such as automatic address configuration, neighbor discovery, or in absence of routers. The domain name system is used to identify computers reachable through the Internet or other Internet protocol networks. The resource records contained in the DNS associates domain names with other forms of information. The Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol is a network management protocol used on Internet protocols networks for automatically assigning IP addresses and other communication parameters to device connected to the network using a client-server device. The main difference between IPv4 and IPv6 is the address size of IP addresses. The IPv4 is 32-bit address, whereas IPv6 is 128-bit hexadecimal address. A subnetwork or subnet is a logical subdivision of an IP network. The practice of dividing a network into two or more networks is called subnetting. Computers that belong to the same subnet are addressed with an identical most significant bit group in their IP addresses. A gateway is a piece of networking hardware or software used in telecommunication network that allows data to follow from one dessert network to another. A virtual private network extends a private network across a public network and enables users to send and receive data across shared or public networks as if their computers' devices were directly connected to private network. A virtual local area network is any broadcast domain that is partitioned and isolated in a computer network at the data link layer. In this context, virtual refers to physical objects recreated and altered by additional logics within the local area network. Network addresses translation, also known as NAT, is a method of mapping an IP address space into another by modifying network addresses informations in the IP headers of packets while they are in transit across a traffic routing device. Internet connection types provide an area or community with power lines or with equipment necessary for cable television. Digital subscriber line is a family of technologies that are used to transmit data over telephone lines. In telecommunication marketing, the term DSL is widely understood to mean digital subscriber line, the most commonly installed DSL technology for Internet access. Dial-up Internet access is a form of Internet access that uses the facility of public switch telephone network to establish a connection to an Internet service provider by dialing a telephone number or a conventional telephone line. A fiber optic cable, also known as optical fiber cables, is an assembly similar to an electrical cable, but containing one or more optical fibers that are used to carry light. A satellite is an object that is internationally placed into orbit. In order to distinguish them from natural satellites such as Earth's moon, they are also called artificial satellites. Integrated Services Digital Network is a set of communication standards for simultaneous digital transmission of voice, video, data, and other network services over the digitalized circuits of the public switched telephone network. A cellular network or mobile network is a communication network where the link to and from end nodes is wireless. The network is distributed over the areas called cells, each served by at least one fixed location transceivers. Tethering, or phone as modem, is the sharing of a mobile device internet connection with other internet computers. Connections of mobile devices with other devices can be done over wireless LAN, over Bluetooth, or by physical connection using a cable, for example through USB. So what is mobile hotspot and how does it work? A Wi-Fi hotspot uses wireless data from a cellular provider to give you internet access from phones, computers, tablets, and other Wi-Fi enabled devices. A mobile hotspot usually provides a connection over 4G LTE wireless technologies, providing max speed of around 30 megabytes per second. Line of sight internet provides an over-the-air internet connection to buildings that have a clear line of sight to a dedicated mast. A local area network is a computer network that interconnects computers within a limited area, such as a residence, school, laboratory, university campus, or office buildings. A wide area network is a telecommunication network that extends over a large geographic area. Wide area networks are often established with leased telecommunication circuits. A personal area network is a computer network for interconnecting electronic devices within an individual person's workplace. A PAN provides data transmissions among devices such as computers, smartphones, tablets, and personal digital assistants. A metropolitan area network is a computer network that interconnects users with computer resources in a geographic region of the size of metropolitan area. A wireless mesh network is a communication network made up for radio nodes organized in a mesh topology. It can also be a form of wireless and HOC network. A mesh refers to rich interconnection among devices or nodes. Cable crimpers allow for the joining of cables, wires, and other ductile materials. Cable crimping dies are used to make reliable and controllable electrical connections when two wires need to be temporarily or permanently joined together. A wire stripper is a portable handheld tool used by workers, especially electricians, for removing the protective coating of an electrical wire in order to replace or repair the wire. A multimeter is a measuring instrument that can measure multiple electrical properties. A typical multimeter can measure voltage, resistance, and current, in which case it is also known as volt-ohm multimeter, as the unit is equipped in voltmeter, ammeter, and ohm meter functionality. A tone generator and probes are practical installation troubleshooting tools that can help accurately identify a pair or conductor within a bundle. A cable tester is an electronic device used to verify the electrical connections in a signal cable or other wired assembly. Basic cable testers are continually testers that can verify the existence of conductive path between ends of the cable and verify the correct wiring of connectors on the cable. A loopback plug is a connector used for diagnosing transmissions problem on parallel and serial ports. A punchdown tool is a small hand tool used by telecommunications and network technicians. It is used for inserting wires into insulate displacement connectors on punch-down blocks, patch panels, keystone modules, and surface mount boxes. Wi-Fi analyzers collect information from different access points and channels within your network and provide a clear overview with visual reports and dashboards.